Hello, everyone. Welcome to my show. Autumn is here. I am your host, Francine Crawford. And I wanted to come to you because, I've gone to different events and I've spoken at different events, and I still get some of the same questions. And it's different people from different places. And there's a question about dementia and the difference between dementia and Alzheimer's and what it means. And, these are things that at this point, sometimes you assume that people know, and people should know the difference between it by now, but sometimes they don't. So it seems pretty common. So I just want to kind of go over a little bit about that and just go into some more detail about that. Dementia is the umbrella. Dementia is where you have any kind of memory loss and challenges with your memory, and that's kind of like the overall umbrella. Okay, and I think that's where the question comes in, where people don't understand the difference, the different types, not stages, but types of dementia. And I want to be clear because it is affecting people. It is affecting Americans today. 1 in 9 Americans will have Alzheimer's or dementia. And that's a lot. And it's about 2/3 of that is women. So we really need to, talk about it and kind of take it seriously. It's not something like chicken pox that you can get and you can take some medicine and, in a couple of weeks it'll be over or stuff like that. Dementia is something that you live with, that you continue your life. Your memory is affected. Your cognitive thinking is affected. So that is the umbrella of everything. There are different types of dementia, but that is dementia when you have a cognitive impairment. That is dementia. Now you have different types. Alzheimer's is the most prevalent one because it is 60 to 80% of people who have dementia fall under this category. Now this category is where there are amyloid proteins and toe tangles, which is a protein that they are affected, and they affect your short-term memory. So that's what Alzheimer's is. You also will have vascular dementia. Now, vascular dementia, if you have that, it's a blockage or it's where it's low blood flow to the brain, and that can cause strokes, and you will have a problem with judgment and things like that. Or you can have Lewy body, which is another type of dementia. Now, Lewy body is also a different protein where it has abnormal clumps in your brain, and it alters you where you may have visual hallucinations, and it fluctuates in your alertness. So what that means is that sometimes you're up and you're alert and you're awake and you're attentive, and then sometimes you go down just in the middle of the day, like back and forth, up and down. Some days you're alert, and then that same day you're not aware, not as attentive. So that may be a sign of Lewy body dementia. Then of course you have frontal temporal lobe dementia, and that is where it is something where you can get that before you're 65. That is something that affects you earlier. So that is something that affects your language skills, your behavior, and things like that. So that's another part of dementia. So now these are all dementias. You can also have a mix. You might have Alzheimer's and you might have vascular at the same time. So these are all different types of dementia, which all have different features. And we just want you to know that dementia is overall, and there are different types. So depending on how it shows up in you is where the doctor will diagnose which one you have, and then they'll be able to treat it with whatever or test it. So make sure you understand the different types. If your doctor says you have dementia, ask him what type of dementia that you have. It makes a difference. There are some where you forget your basic normal things, and you're not able to do the things that you used to do on a regular routine. You normally go to the grocery store that's up the block, and now you can't figure out where the grocery store is. You get uneasy in places where you used to be comfortable, but you get uneasy. You get agitated. People don't realize that when people get agitated, that's a form of showing some signs sometimes, where you were usually a person that can go anywhere and enjoy yourself, and now everything bothers you. Agitation can be a sign of some sort of dementia. Okay, losing track of time and dates and days and stuff like that can also be some sort of dementia. Having trouble like making plans and decisions and organizing yourself, and a judgment, that can be signs of dementia. Now, if you have these signs, it doesn't mean that if you have these signs and that you automatically have dementia. Always go to your doctor, always seek professional help and advice and opinion. Okay, but these are things that are markers. And it's important to know these markers because if you have dementia, you can live with dementia. It is not something that because you are diagnosed with it, it's over, that's it, your life is over, you're going to die soon. It is something that you have to learn to live with. And you have to learn to live with the different kinds of dementia because they may have maybe not a cure, but they may have medicine to slow it down depending on what you have. And then activities help. There are so many different things that they have that can help you with still living a quality of life, just being aware. You know, sometimes people don't want to go to the doctor and they don't want to know. It is so much better for you to know. Why is it better for you to know? Because this way you'll understand, your treatment, and you won't feel like, okay, this is a death sentence. If you know that, okay, this is the type I have, this is what's expected, and this is the medicine I need to take. And you have to understand that people are still working on research and trying to understand these things, and they are trying to work on a cure. So if you have something and you're early diagnosed and you're taking something that slows it down, they may find something that is better for you, or find something that is able to cure it in 10, 15 years, whatever, because sometimes you can live with this for a long time, and if you have it, don't be ashamed. Tell your person, your partner, your children, tell them that, okay, this is what the doctor said, and these are the things that may happen to me, or these are the things that are happening to me. There are some times where people know that things are happening to them and they can't pinpoint it. So that's why I say seek a doctor's advice, because this way they can clear it up for you. Say, okay, yes, you are showing some signs of dementia. This is the type of dementia you have. If you don't realize it, or your child doesn't realize it, or your spouse doesn't realize it, then you can't identify it. Sometimes we overlook stuff. We overlook things. I remember my mom, she would always know, I know this now. I did not know this then. But I distinctly remember my mother having conversations with people outside or on the stoop, or talking to them for 15, 20 minutes, a half an hour, and having a good conversation, enjoying, laughing and talking. And when they walk away, she goes, Francine, who is that? And I'm like, who's that? Gail, Nadine, and she'll be like, oh, yeah, that's right. And she would do that all the time. Now, I realized that was part of Alzheimer's, and she really didn't know these people. Even when I said, oh, that's Gail, or that's, Dave, or whatever, she would say, yeah, oh, that's right. Even when she said that, yeah, she didn't know. I know that now, but I assumed, she just forgot, and I just laugh it off. If someone does that all the time, it's time to possibly get tested, and go with them to get tested. Don't make them feel, embarrassed about it, because you want to know. You want them to be willing to go to the doctor and get tested. So make sure that you take a serious concern with them, but don't panic them, because I believe that they know something is happening with them. My mom, she said, there's something wrong with me. I don't know. And I was like, oh, Ma, you're just old. You're going to be senile, and that's normal. And, I took it like that. And she said, no, this is different. She said, this is different. I can't remember stuff. This is different. She said that to me. But because I wasn't aware of Alzheimer's or anything like that, I didn't take it serious. I was like, well, that's what I'm here for. Okay. Some of you out there have done that and are doing that. Take a second look. Take a step back. Are there things that your parents are showing that are signs of dementia? You may not know which kind of dementia, but it may be a sign of one of the dementias. Having hallucinations, visual hallucinations, thinking that they saw something. You might just, oh, you're just being silly. Oh, if they keep saying it, that they see this or that whatever, maybe it's time to take them to the doctor. Okay, so now we know that there are different types of dementia, and there are different things that show up, different ways that it shows up. And there are different ways that you can identify it, and you should identify it and take them to the doctor and have them confirm or not confirm. Say, well, no, I think she's fine. I think what she's going through or he's going through is normal. So that's fine. Just continue to watch their daily functions, their daily things that they always do, that they usually do. Continue to watch them. Continue to be involved with them. So I'm glad that, people are asking the questions, but I want people to know that you can live with dementia. It's better to go to the doctor and get tested, or bring it up to your family member that, this is the third time I left my key in the door. I don't know why I keep leaving my key in the door. I keep thinking I have it and I leave my key in the door. Why do they keep doing that? Why? They never did it before, or they left the door unlocked all the time. Why are they doing that? You come to their house and the door is unlocked all the time. Why do they keep forgetting? These are things that sound simple, but you need to pay attention to them, and just take them to the doctor, or, just get it checked out. Ask them some more questions of how they feel and things like that. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk to people about, just to really be more alert with things like that, because 1 in 9 people will have Alzheimer's, and it is like something that's growing, and we have to be aware of that. And especially 2/3 of it is women who have it. So we have to be aware of that. And the Black community has it more than the white community. Let's just say that. And there are reasons for that. It shows up more for whatever reason, but we need to be aware, because we need to kind of take care of ourselves. We need to be aware of our neighbors. We need to be aware of our family members. We need to know that they're okay in good health. And if they're not, and if there's something that share it with them. And if you are a senior, and if you are, say, 72 years old and you're fine and you're healthy, still get it checked. Go to a geriatric doctor and get it checked out. Just what my mom used to say, for GP, general purposes, just get it checked out. Just ask them, and then they'll tell you what to look for. And you may not even recognize that you're doing these things, or you might have just started losing weight, and it's good because you want to lose weight and things like that. And it's your brain telling you not to eat. You may not even recognize that because you're glad that you're losing weight, but it may be your brain telling you not to eat. So if you're of age over 65 or 70, 72, and you feel healthy, you're still moving around, you're still doing what you're going to do, you're on your own, just as a precaution, ask your doctor, is there any test, a memory test that I could kind of take to see if, I'm okay? And if you go to a geriatric doc, they're going to definitely know what to tell you, know how to do it. But sometimes doctors do not offer it. They do not readily offer it. So they can do it. So if you ask them, they can, and they will, or they'll send you someplace where you can, but they may not offer it. So I want you to be proactive in your care. Also, when a doctor gives you a diagnosis of something, we trust our doctors, and, they talk to us and they know the medical terms and things like that. And we may not even understand that. And we even ask them, tell us in layman terms. And even if they tell us that, it's good that, they tell us that and they try to let us understand what's going on. But also, nowadays we have things at our fingertips. Google is your friend. And I say that for 2 reasons. One, Google knows everything about you. They act like they're your friend. Okay. And 2, you can access so much information from Google. I'm not saying let that be your doctor, but what I'm saying is sometimes when they say things like, okay, well, they'll tell you you're going to take this medicine, you might feel tired, or you might get a stiffness in your legs or your body or whatever, but that's okay. lay down or put a hot towel on you and you'll be okay in a few seconds. Or that's reactions from the medicine. Don't be alarmed, stuff like that, things like that. One of the things I found that benefit me is I actually go online and just to see what is actually happening, not go against the doctor. They've already told me what happens where I can recognize it, that this is a stiffness, but I want to know why is that stiffness happening. So I go on and I look at images and things like that so I can understand a little bit more about what's happening in my body, because sometimes you have to do that. And that's just me. My suggestions, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a social worker or a healthcare professional, but that's just me saying that I know that that has helped me to look at images and to see exactly what that cramping is, that pain is, what that, thing that's going to subside once I take the medicine, what is actually happening. That helps me because sometimes you go, okay, that stiffness can be caused by other things that maybe I can do something about. Maybe it's not just the medicine that can help it. Maybe it's something that I'm consuming. Maybe I'm consuming too much sugar, and that inflammation is affecting that. He might have said inflammation and I may not figure out what that is, but maybe that I realize when I go online that that's part of it. So then I go, well, what can I do to reduce that? So I'll cut out some things, some starches, some sugars, some things like that, and see what happens. And see if maybe now I won't get the cramp. Maybe I won't get the stiffness when I take the medicine. Maybe I won't feel this pain or whatever. So sometimes, I'm not saying to doctor yourself, I'm not saying that. I'm saying to do what the doctor says and take the medicines if you feel comfortable doing that. But also, there are sometimes we need to look up things ourselves because we have this tool now that we can, and just to see if this is happening and the doctor says this is happening and I'm feeling this, what exactly is happening and what else causes that I can stop or implement. Maybe what else causes that I have a vitamin deficiency, or maybe I'm taking the wrong vitamin or things like that. Whatever it is, it could be something where, maybe you need to have more, or maybe you just need to have more fruits and vegetables. Doctors are not nutritionists unless you go to a nutritionist. Doctors are medical doctors, they're scientists. Okay, so they rely on medicine. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's that there are also ways that we can help ourselves medically and naturally. Eating fruits and vegetables, specific fruits and vegetables, things that are going to help us to whatever ailing us to be able to do on our own, cutting out some stuff, adding some stuff. Those are things that we can do ourselves. We can't just rely on, especially when we get older. I feel that this is why I feel that, because you're not moving as much, you're not doing as much exercise and stuff like that. And I mean just regular exercise and like going back and forth, running around and stuff like that. You're probably driving all over the place like I am, and I'm not walking around as much. So there might be different things that I used to be able to do and eat and take in, and the volumes I can't do now, not just because of gaining weight, but because of the flow of the blood in my system and things like that. What feeds the blood? What feeds the oxygen? Things like that. So it's good to look up nutritionally what can help you and what you can do that will help yourself also. This can help, especially if they cause, I don't want to get into the causes of dementia and the different forms of dementia, because there's so many things that they say now that cause it. There's so many different things that they say now that cause it, that, it seems like anything can cause it. And I know that anything can't cause it, but I'm just saying, like, it's so many things that people say. You can, they call it type 3 diabetes. Well, type 3 diabetes is not a medical term. They didn't medically say, okay, that's definitely what it is, but they're saying that now, which means that, you have an insulin resistance. So what do? Maybe I just cut down on sugar and stuff like that. And maybe that'll help and slow down or stop me from going in that direction of getting Alzheimer's. You know what I mean? So it's things like that we have to know about, but it's like, what causes it? It could be, you could have multiple blows in your head for some reason, and you can get it. but how do we deal with it? I think that's the most important thing, because once you realize you have it, there's something that caused it, but you can't go back to it unless it's a vitamin deficiency or something like that. You might be able to fix that. Vitamin B12, they say if you have low in that, then that may cause memory loss. So maybe that can be, you can increase the B12. That's something. But, if you're a person that was a boxer, you had multiple blows to the head or something like that, a football player, stuff like that, these things, when you find that out, if you have it already, you have to deal with what can I do with it. So that's why I don't really want to go around with the different causes, because every day they say, sometimes they say coffee causes it, sometimes they say coffee doesn't cause it. So, the thing is, find out if you have it, find out if you're going in that direction, and find out things that you can do that will help you along with medicines and treatment. One of the things that helps and that we can do, I was talking about eating certain things and doing certain things that help you to stay healthy and stuff like that. And I'm not telling you what to eat, but I'm just saying that these are things that you can do yourself that along with medicine. But one of the things you can also do is get involved. Get involved with your community. Get involved with activities of your community. There is information out there and there is support out there. And if you get involved, you might have the information the newly information that's coming up and things like that. You have to be able to share information with your community also, the things that If you hear this broadcast and you have a community, share it with them. If you're in a community, you may get information from the community. So it's a back and forth thing. You can share information and they can share information. You can share knowledge, they can share knowledge. Be out in a community. And people are like, oh, well, they're not thinking about different things that are their community. Your community can be different things. The community can be, a church community. Your community could be your senior citizen community. Community could be your neighbors, just your neighbors in your building. Your neighbors on your block is your community. Your job is your community. Okay? Give them information if they need it, or if you want, just start talking about things like that, things that of this nature that may help them, and then you can get information from them. Have conversations, be social. It helps. That's why I do this, because there's a point in here that you may pick up, that you may recognize, and you may say, oh wow, I didn't think about that. I didn't think that I could do that. I didn't think I could ask my doctor that question. I didn't think that I can do that on my own. I didn't think that there was testing. Share information like I'm sharing information. You don't have to be a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever. Share information. So this way, people in your community, your surrounding people, that's your surrounding people, and they should be people that you care for and care about, that they know things that may help them, and they give you things. And also there are plenty of agencies and different things that have support. So please remember that there are agencies like AARP is one of the most respected agencies out there that will give you information on all kinds of different things with aging, all kinds of different things. So that's something, someplace that you can go to. Alzheimer's Association is also well known all over that they are knowledgeable about Alzheimer's and can give you different kinds of support. You have Dementia Society of America that can give you all kinds of information about dementia specifically, and different tools to help you in that if you're dealing with that. So please remember that there is support out there. There is hope out there. There are people working on research. It sounds like I know it's scary. It may last for 20 years. My mom had it for at least 20 years. So it's not something that, eventually it may stop your functions and lead to death, but it's something that you can live with. And I want people to be encouraged that they have knowledge and information that dementia is problems with memory, but you can live with it. And there are different types. So everybody's not going around doing the same thing. So you can't do what your other neighbors doing because they have dementia and whatever. You go to your doctor, you find out, and you get information. You ask your doctor questions, write it down, ask them questions, and ask them to test you. There are tests that are not even invasive. They're tests that they're just asking you questions, trying to find the hands on a clock. Do 3 o'clock. What is your birth date? 7 plus 7 is how much? And another 7 is how much? And another 7 is how much? They test you and things like that. So it's not invasive sometimes, especially basic testing. So please, if you can do that, ask your doctor, get tested, and let's be more aware of dementia and the different types of dementia, and just be more proactive about it. Because we need to help our community. We need to help the people that we love around us. We need to help ourselves. We need to help our parents. We need to help our grandparents. We are getting older, and this is something that is growing, and we need to be aware of it to ask for help, and also to be aware of it to find out who is fighting for this. What people in your community, what community activists, community organizations are fighting for this? What representatives you have, political representatives that you have that are fighting for this, that are trying to get aid and money to help this and help research and to trying to push this forward and getting information out there and awareness and education. Who is doing that? Is it your Senate? Is it your assembly person? Is it your community leader? Who is doing that? Maybe you might want to volunteer and help them and support them. Or maybe you want to ask them if they're not doing it, bring that question up, because we need more attention to this, because we need to get more help, more funding, more different things that is going to get the information and the right information out there. And we absolutely need a cure. That's my show for today. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And I will see you next week. And make sure you hit that like, share, and comment. And please subscribe. Go to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. Please, I really appreciate that. Thank you.